Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a critical topic, the top 5 poorest states in Nigeria. Now I know what you're thinking, Naza, talking about poverty, that's heavy stuff. And you're right, it is. But it's also something we can't ignore. Look, Nigeria is a country with incredible potential, a real powerhouse in Africa. But that potential isn't always reflected in the lives of everyday Nigerians, especially in these 5 states. We're going to take a look at why these states are struggling, the challenges they face, and maybe, just maybe, spark some ideas about how things could be different. So, buckle up because we're about to get real, we're going to get informed, and hopefully we're going to get a little bit fired up about making a difference. Let's get started. First up, we're heading to the northwestern corner of Nigeria, to Sokoto State. Now, Sokoto is known for its rich history. It was once a major Islamic caliphate, but today Sokoto wears a different crown. It has the unfortunate title of being the state with the highest poverty rate in Nigeria. Over 80% of the population lives below the poverty line. Let that sink in for a second. 80%. Imagine a classroom of 10 kids. 8 of them wouldn't have their basic needs met, and it's not hard to see why. Sokoto is plagued by a severe lack of infrastructure. We're talking bad roads, limited access to clean water, and unreliable electricity. Trying to run a business or get an education in those conditions, it's like trying to run a marathon with your shoelaces tied together. Possible, but man, it's an uphill battle. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. The people of Sokoto are resilient. They've got this incredible sense of community, and despite the challenges, they keep pushing forward. And that's something to be admired, you know. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit, it finds a way. Next, we travel east to Taraba State. Now, Taraba is a bit different. This state is blessed with natural beauty. Think rolling hills, waterfalls, and fertile land. This place could be a tourist hotspot, but instead it's grappling with deep economic challenges. See, Taraba has one of the lowest literacy rates in Nigeria, which means a huge chunk of the population is missing out on education and opportunities. It's a classic chicken and egg situation. Without education, it's hard to get a good job, and without good jobs, it's hard to improve the education system. And when you factor in things like limited access to healthcare and high unemployment, well, you can see why Taraba is stuck in a cycle of poverty. But here's the thing, Taraba has so much untapped potential. Imagine what could happen if they invested in education and vocational training. If they could attract investors and create jobs, Taraba could go from being a state known for its struggles to a state known for its success story. Let's shift our focus to Jigawa State, located in the north-central part of Nigeria. Jigawa is a state where agriculture is life, and I mean that literally because most people rely on farming to survive. But here's the catch. It's mostly subsistence farming, meaning they're just growing enough to feed themselves and their families. This makes Jigawa incredibly vulnerable. One bad harvest, one drought, one flood, and boom, families are pushed deeper into poverty. And because the state relies so heavily on agriculture, there aren't enough other job opportunities. Young people especially are left with limited options, which often leads to a cycle of poverty being passed down through generations. Jigawa needs to diversify its economy like yesterday, investing in industries like manufacturing or tech, creating an environment where small businesses can thrive. That's how you break free from the chains of poverty. Jigawa has the potential to be an agricultural powerhouse, but it needs to plant the seeds for a more diverse economic future. Our next stop takes us to Ebonyi State in southeastern Nigeria. Now, Ebonyi is a place with a lot of heart, but it's facing a healthcare crisis. The state has one of the highest maternal and infant mortality rates in the country. Think about that for a second. Becoming a mother, bringing a child into the world, it shouldn't be a life or death situation. But in Ebonyi, it often is. And it's not just healthcare. The education system is struggling too. Schools are overcrowded, understaffed, and lacking basic resources. It's like trying to learn to swim in an empty swimming pool. You can have all the enthusiasm in the world, but without the proper support, you're not going to get very far. Ebonyi needs a major intervention, a serious investment in healthcare and education. These are the building blocks of a thriving society, and right now, they're crumbling. It's time for the government to step up and prioritize the well-being of its citizens. Finally, we arrive at Adamawa State in the northeast. Now, Adamawa has been through the ringer. This state has been at the epicenter of the Boko Haram insurgency, and the impact of that conflict is still felt today. We're talking about destroyed infrastructure, displaced families, and a sense of fear that lingers in the air. It's like trying to rebuild a house after a tornado rips through it. You're picking up the pieces, trying to put your life back together, but the trauma, the loss, it's always there. Adamawa's economy has been devastated, businesses have closed, and people are struggling to make ends meet. But amidst the rubble, there's hope. The people of Adamawa are incredibly resilient. They're working hard to rebuild their lives, to create a better future for their children. They need support, they need resources, and they need the world to know that Adamawa is not defined by conflict, but by the strength and determination of its people. So, there you have it, a glimpse into the lives of people living in Nigeria's 5 poorest states. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the challenges, to think, what can I do? I'm just one person. But here's the thing, awareness is the first step. By understanding the issues, by talking about them, by shining a light on the struggles of others, we're taking a step towards change. Every journey begins with a single step, and together, we can make a difference. We can support organizations working on the ground, we can advocate for policies that promote economic equality, and we can amplify the voices of those who are often unheard. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. Let's keep the conversation going.